Welcome to the Doggie Dojo show. Today is an awesome broadcast talking about trick dogs, stunt dogs, and more. How can you get started and how to begin with your puppy? If you've ever wanted to see your dog do some amazing tricks, well, I got two experts today here for you. Both one has been a champion of Tridex and another one's been a judge. And then they are both here to help you guys really discover how easy it is to get started in trick dog and how fun it can be for you and your canine companion. So without, oops, I got some doggies. Without further ado, here's Chrissy and Kim Mays. Hey guys.
Hi.
Guys.
So guys, how do we get started in trick dog, and how can we begin with our canine companions in this great dog training event and dog training sport?
Kim,
oh my God. Okay.
Let
me lead off, huh?
Okay, yeah. Go ahead for it.
Anybody, if you have a brand new puppy or you have a much older dog, you can start in tricks. We have dogs that have disabilities that do it, and really you just need to start doing little piece by piece things at home. There's lots of Spark teams through our Do More with the Dog program that you can just go online, watch YouTube videos, and we'll teach you how to do all the things. And it's just free groups, and that's a great way to get started. And I know, Chrissy, you have some groups. You do training classes in 2 locations now, don't you?
Yes, we just opened our 2nd location. Yep, so we have 2 locations now. We're doing constant titling, getting more novice goers in and helping them kind of achieve growing up that line of titles that they can do straight from home, which is so convenient as well.
And that's actually how I got started. Is I had a couple reactive dogs that weren't ready to go out in public yet and do anything at shows, and that's how I got involved with tricks, was doing things at home with my dogs to keep them active and keeping their lives enriched.
And also, I actually got started in a kind of a funny way. Is that what inspired me to even try tricks was his anxiety. He had horrible, just separation anxiety, crate anxiety, you name it, he had it, to the point where he bent bars on the crate, his paws are bleeding, or he was just like besides himself with anxiety. And I said, why not better to challenge his mind from home by doing different kinds of tricks and stimulation and giving him a job, not only when we physically exhaust him hiking, but I wanted to mentally exhaust him as well. So I have to be careful talking with my hands because he'll start doing all sorts of things. But now, as you can see, he's more of a steady Eddie now. And I think it's because his mental exhaustion is capped out as we train as well as his physical.
Right. And then I think people, when they think of trick dog or stunt dog, they see these awesome freestyle routines, and they think that their dog would never be able to do that. And that's kind of similar to me when it comes to dog agility world. Like, everyone assumes dog agility is really complex to get started because they see all these dogs that are national competitors jumping in there. But I can't tell you how much I've had fun teaching my dog tricks. And I think it's cool because tricks can be so individual to you and your dog's relationship. It doesn't have to look like the picture perfect one that you see on TV. It can have its own little kind of nuance to it to make it unique and special to you. So one of the things when you're looking at this, some people look at trick dog versus stunt dog. What's the difference between the two?
You want to take that one first, Chrissy, or
expand on that a little bit? And it's something that I really have a passion for. I've always loved performing. I've done a lot of stuff on theater and for TV and film as an actress. So when I knew that stunt dog was coming out, I was really excited, because the difference between it is, while tricks allow you to do something at home and also allow you to do it kind of at your leisure on your own time frame, I know stunt dog is going to be more of a live performance with your dog. Now, granted, the levels that you do in stunt dog are going to be very much dictated for you. You must meet certain criteria, but it's your bond with your dog and your performance in the ring that can help separate you from others, which helps you score better. But some things that you would normally not keep in mind, such as audience engagement, stage placement, using your entire stage. How is your body positioned? Not turning your back to the audience. All of these small details that you might pick up if you've done theater in school or something like that can all play very much into your success in stunt dog, which is meant to be an experience for a live audience.
Yeah, and then it looks like, just real quickly, I saw a comment come up real quick that talks about Beasley's looking pretty styling right there. Do you want to introduce us to your wonderful puppy right next to you?
Yeah, so Beasley's very, very excited to be here. As you can tell, he's always pawing me.
And Beasley just had a not debut because he's been in other things. We had a big thing happen recently. You guys, he was on the Chewy's Christmas commercial, right?
Yes, with Felix, his very best buddy, who's a pug. They're like the grumpier old men, if you want to think about it. Like, he's the tall, skinny one, and Felix is the short, stout one. I don't like to call him fat. But great Christmas commercial with Chewy, and we actually might be traveling. We have a music video this Sunday, and next week we might be going to Atlanta. So lots of traveling ahead, but we've just been so blessed. But if you watch that commercial, or if you've seen it,
who's seen it? Comment down below if you've seen it. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Who's seen it? Who comment down below?
Yeah. Have you seen the Christmas commercial? Beasley pushes the plate of cookies. But I have to just do a shout out to Do More With Your Dog on this one, because it's the first time that we've been able to utilize so many awesome tricks that we've learned on set. Generally, you don't run across that so much. They want sit, stay. They want the family dog. They're not looking for the show pony. But this was the first time Chewy was like, we know you two, Beasley and Felix, how cool. And we know you guys can do tricks. So they started to write out all these different tricks. And we're like, we can do that. We can do that. Actually, we can even offer you more. And that's all because of our trick training programs.
Awesome. That's so good. And, how do you get started in the Do More With Your Dog or the trick training programs? Where can people find more information about that?
So for the Do More With Your Dog program, it's really easy. You can go on their website, domorewithyourdog.com. And there's a whole list of different Spark teams. These are certified trick dog instructors that have put together online Facebook teams where you can join and there's different levels. So I have one, my teams are called the Rockin' Dogs Spark teams. And the Rockin' Dogs Spark teams are everywhere from novice. Once you finish your novice, you can move on to an intermediate group, advanced, expert, if you want to go all the way through champion. So it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to do all the different tricks. I have YouTube videos that I post on there every week. So you can get the information and just do it at home. And that's probably the best plus of the trick program is out of all the different dog sports that I've done, it's the easiest access. I find it's some of the best people. I mean, people are just having so much fun with their dogs. But it's really, really, it makes you expand your dog so much. I have learned so much more about my dogs doing a different variety of tricks than I have in different set sports. So, I mean, because it's really encompasses everything. So tricks has, you're going to do a little bit of frisbee dog or a little bit of agility stuff or some type of precision tricks or nose work. And it just kind of like wraps everything in one ball. So you really have this really well-formed dog in the end. And it'll help you with all the other things that you want to do, whether it's obedience or anything.
And that's such a cool...
Gwen. I saw your comment, Gwen. Thank you. Shout out to Gwen.
Yeah, she's giving you some love out there. And if you guys want to comment, as you guys can see, the comments are hopping right now. If you guys have any thoughts or questions that you want to ask these experts in Trick Talk, please go ahead and pop those down below. But I think that's really awesome that there's that kind of community aspect with the Do More With Your Dog, the fact that you can get the support you need and you can get the coaching you need with these Spark teams. And so I think it's a very special thing to have happen. And so I think that's really cool. And Chrissy, you started that. You're in that too, right? With Do More With Your Dog and the whole program and all that.
Absolutely. We hold lots of classes here. And Beasley and I were the first kind of team from BFF to get our Trick Dog champion a couple of years back. And we're constantly helping people, build up their trick experience. And a lot of it is just getting even the young dogs involved because of the exposure quality of it. Shelly, I love Shelly so much, by the way. She's awesome. Positive person there. She's great. She always makes me smile. But I just wanted to just stress the fact that it, like Kim said, it expands their mind. Now you're teaching your dog to be tangible with something. Not only do they now see a ball, but they can learn to push it versus paw it. And having those different kinds of uses with your dog is so fascinating. Like, people would think, my dog can't learn that, but you would be surprised how many things your dog can truly learn, especially with positive reinforcement and marking that behavior just when you need it, you can find so much success there. And, you know, if you have an older dog or a dog who's physically limited, we have dogs who've gone through multiple ACL surgeries, was a Frisbee dog, now can't do it, and had to be crated for, gosh, I don't even know how long to get through those surgeries. But tricks was such a healthy outlet for that dog to not be too physical where it's going to be dangerous, but to be able to mentally challenge this dog enough to have a quality of life. So if you're like, I'm not jumping through hoops, it's just not my thing, it's like, that's fine. But if you're the type that's also not going to have the time during your week to do the 5-mile walk or whatever it is to tire out your Doberman or who knows what, get involved with some trick training. So when you are stuck in the house, you can do things like this. And it is go to do more with your dog. You can start at home, but I highly suggest you get with a training facility and you hook up with groups such as the ones that Kim has. And BFF has the Paw Amazing Trick Stars, which you don't have to be a BFF client to join. It's just all about supporting each other and bouncing ideas off for success. So it can be something grown right from your own house.
Yeah. And I have a couple kind of supportive comments on this is that Anne's talking about how she loves doing tricks for more than training manners. I mean, like, I think that tricks, you know, when your dog has something to do with you, it's a little more fun, a little more engaging. You can actually use tricks to help you around the house. Like, some dog tricks are very helpful. Like, if your dog needs to go, I mean, you all know, like, to fetch the beer, but you can also teach dogs to turn on and off lights, pick up your keys. Like, there's all these certain things you can do to help your dog that a lot of service dogs do already. A lot of those things that we teach service dogs to help us out on a daily basis are dog tricks. And so I think it's very helpful to have tricks. And also Maddie was also like, it's amazing how you can start using so many tricks in real life too. So I don't know if you guys agree with that or think that, but it's just amazing what tricks can do. I know for my obedience students that I teach them dog training tricks because, I mean, we work so hard. If anybody has ever trained a dog, you know how hard it is to get a dog to necessarily come when called, walk on leash, sit, stand down, all these behaviors. And then when you show these great behaviors to your friends and family, then the question always comes up, what tricks do they know? It's like, well, I just showed you all the great obedience skills that they have. Like, that took me 6 months to achieve, pretty much. But if you show them like a shake a paw or bang or roll over, the people are like, oh, it's so cute. Your dog's the most well-behaved dog in the world, you know?
Well, and I always tell people if they thought of all their obedience skills as tricks, we would have much, much better trained dogs in the world because everybody just has fun and they do so much more complex things when they're teaching a trick because they're having fun and they don't care if they screw up a little bit. And there's a different mentality a lot of times that goes into teaching those obedience skills. So many times in my trick classes and even in my obedience classes, I combine the tricks. So they're learning the fun things, but they're also stretching their obedience knowledge. So, you know, if we're going to be learning something like stays, I might teach them how to do a bow stay or a paws up stay or something. So they get a little bit more joy out of it. And they're still learning the skill and we do that with all kinds of things. So, I mean, it's a good way of incorporating things that not only your dog enjoys, but you enjoy with the things that maybe aren't your favorite things to practice.
Right.
And it's so true. You know, sometimes we'll get dogs that come in where we can just see the bond between the handler and the owner is strained at the moment. And instead of stressing them out even further by putting them into obedience, which is really kind of restrictive, like we need you to sit, we need you to look, we need you to walk, we maybe put them in tricks because then they can start to have that engagement with each other in a looser environment. It's going to be more play involved, more, just a little bit more not so strained or strict with having to do obedience. And then when they get ready and they get through tricks, they feel like they're getting into a comfort level and understanding maybe what luring means and things like that. Then when you jump them into obedience, they're like, they're together. And that's kind of where we want them to start with obedience if we can. So tricks offers a great way to build that bond with your dog. Just figuring things out. Like Beasley is totally food motivated. If I have a ball, he could care less. So you need to learn these things to have, like, as I've talked to you before, Trevor, your invisible toolbox with your dog. You need to have that toolbox. So one tool's not doing the job. You got to have a couple other options in there, but you won't know how to build that unless you do start getting involved. So that's a great way to discover things, is trick training.
Yeah, and I actually have seen a lot of people's relationship change with their dog just because of the fact that there's that joy aspect. And I know a lot of dogs that love to ham it up, like they love attention. And when they get the applause or the cheers or the laughter, the dogs just get a certain smile about themselves, like, I did something funny, or I did something fun. And it's cool to see that dog just like to brighten up with some of these tricks in your training. On a competitive note, how do people, after they teach these dogs all these amazing tricks, what is the next step if they want to, like, maybe compete or get some performance titles or something like that?
Okay, so as a judge, I'm looking for what sets the dog apart, what sets the team apart from a list of tricks that I might have seen 100 times in a month. So I've seen a ton of dogs do, say, play dead. What makes that dog's play dead set apart from all the others? So really what I'm looking for is, we want the accuracy of how they do the trick and the difficulty level there, but we also are really looking for creativity. I look for creativity more than anything else in this sport because it is what sets you apart. And I truly believe every dog has like their signature move. Every dog in my house, even if there's not a huge frill to it, there's just something about it that dog does, that they have their own personal flair and it sets them apart. So sometimes it's not a huge thing, but I don't know if Beasley's falling asleep there, but I don't know if he has like his signature move that you have worked out. I know Loki behind me has one. My Huskies have one. So it's just that cool thing. You hit it. And find it. But that's a big deal, creativity. So like Sapala, my oldest one, he's 12 and getting old in age now, but he's my Husky that he was the first dog that got the Trick Dog Champion title in 2011 when it came out. Oh. And so that program was brand new. We had no idea what was going on. We had a list of tricks to go from, and I was just kind of flying by the seat of my pants with that one. But one of the tricks that he was supposed to do or could do for his champion title was push a shopping cart. So I was thinking, okay, I've seen a ton of dogs on YouTube push a shopping cart. How am I going to make this own and get this title? So for him, we had him push my lawnmower. That was our different thing. So it was a lot more difficult, and it looked so cool, and it was all over YouTube. So that was our different take, and that's what I'm looking for is, what's your take on it? How are you performing it? And that's what's going to cause you to get more points for your titles.
Gotcha. Yeah. And then you are actually going to be a trick dog judge for actually AKC this month. I'm actually going to get a chance to see you. You're going to be trick judging my dog.
Actually, thank goodness, there's Sandra is going to be doing your elite title with Enya. Thank God, because I don't want to judge you, Trevor.
That'd be so fun. But, just to watch it. That's good.
I'll be there to watch, though. No, we're going to have some fun at the National Dog Show in Orlando. So and if you have a dog that you have not, you're just starting in tricks, I'm going to be judging all the novice trick dogs that come there. So if you want a audience, this is the audience. This is the biggest dog show in the nation. Last year there were like 5,000 dogs.
I'm nervous, to be honest with you.
So if you want to come in and really kind of get your feet wet, this is going to be a great opportunity.
That's going to be fun. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, it has a great routine. I always have to say that, but it's going to be fun.
I can't wait to meet her.
Yes. So one of the things that I came up question-wise down in the comment section down below is someone was saying, and I know the answer to this, but it's a great question anyway. But it's we have 3 or 4 AKC trick dog titles. Are they interchangeable between, I'm guessing, Do More With Your Dog and AKC? So I know the answer to this, but I'll let you guys go ahead and take the stand on that.
They are. You can grandfather the Do More With Your Dog titles over to AKC. They don't go the other way, however. So they don't. If you have AKC titles, you can't transfer them over to Do More With Your Dog.
And I would almost venture to say, I mean, it's the same requirements, but I know that Do More With Your Dog has almost like a little bit higher standard with their tricks, and between AKC. Because I mean, Do More With Your Dog, so like we talked about before, such a tight-knit community, and it's much more coaching, like you're saying, and so the expectation is a little higher because you have all that coaching and stuff like that with each individual trick performance. So because I know for me,
the program's been around for quite a few years longer, so right. I'm sure I've already heard that in the new year AKC is going to be adding new tricks to their list of tricks to perform. So I mean, they're going to come up to another level as they grow in this, because they've already grown exponentially since they started their trick program. So
well, I'm stoked that Do More With Your Dog and AKC partnered up, and I think it's great that AKC took this on because it's really putting an extra competitiveness to the trick dog world. I think it's cool to see the trick dog world grow because it's such a fun thing to do with your dog. So it's real important to start now. I mean, if you guys are thinking like, man, I don't think I could ever run an agility, and you don't think fly ball's for you, I would start looking at trick dog. I'm curious to see where AKC goes with this, because right now it's just all about getting titles by getting evaluated by a Canine Good Citizen evaluator, and then also the elite performer, doing a routine. But I'm curious to see if they start taking that same route as Tridex right now, which Tridex is a huge, like kind of almost like a agility trial would be like a trick dog trial. Say that 3 times fast or 5 times fast. Trick dog trial. I'm curious to see if we start seeing eventually some AKC trick dog trials happening in the future.
And with that being said, I hope to see in the future, and this is just something I feel that kind of like the icing on the cake for your performances and when you are in front of a judge with tricks and stunts, is that I think in the dog competitive world, we are also focused on what the dog's doing. So we're not really thinking about ourselves. We're just focused on the dog must perform, the dog must do, the dog must succeed.
Right.
That's great for handling in agility. You don't have to, other sports, it is about the dog and yourself for handlers, of course. I'm not saying that you don't do anything, but what I'm saying is when you do tricks and stunts, your presence in the ring during that time is like just as important. So if you're having your dog pushing something or doing something, the way you present yourself and the way you help the audience feel engaged or even the judge feel engaged in that moment is so important. If you're going to do something themed, you should be just a part of that theme with the performance. I think that, and learning how to properly execute being on stage and where your audiences are is very important. You want to turn your back so they're looking at your butt the whole time when you're trying to show a really awesome trick. Or maybe you would show the rollover, but you're not going to show it where they can't see the dog. Maybe you're going to do it sideways so they can see the whole interaction of rolling up in a blanket, instead of just showing the butt of the animal and they can't really understand what the dog did. It's like, no, let's reorient that so you can actually, the audience can see the dog grab the blanket and go into a roll. So then where should you be? So that looks like a really cool trick for the audience which is going to not only give a better audience review, but that can also score you higher on your entire use of stage. Now, this is probably more for your stunt dog stuff, but something to keep in mind is where, when you are turning your back to maybe do something backstage, how should you turn to not show your back to the audience? It's like one of the first things you learn in theater too, is to never have your back toward the audience. So how can I work with my dog to make it something more unique? Maybe he can scoot through my legs and we back up together, or we can just back up together. So it's more of a show than being so focused and our eyes down the whole time and not interacting with people around us, because it should be an experience, not just me and my dog coming in and doing, consider it like a rally. It's just us focused on each other. When you do this kind of work, I think it's got to be more of a little bit of a show. So I just think that people could really get some benefit from some knowledge on stage use and performance and positioning too. I think that could really be something people could show off to the judge, and maybe would give that added flair that Kim would be looking for, or some other judges might be looking for.
Right.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to be there to watch Chrissy's performance for her champion title.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, of course it was entertaining. I mean, it's how is watching tricks and stunts not entertaining with dogs? But I mean, it was funny. There were elements of humor. She kicked it up a notch, halfway through. It didn't like die down in the middle and get more drop. But I got to say, and I hope you don't mind me mentioning this, but the best part for me watching the performance is great. It had a powerful, really great message. But when she left the ring, she broke down and gave Beasley the biggest hug and cried, and everybody was emotional. And it just thinking about it, emotional. But you could see the bond. You could see how much work was put in to doing that performance, and how much bond had been built there. And it was all just wrapped up into a few seconds. And she was probably trying to hide from everybody at that point. But it was great. And that's what it's all about, is that, people that don't even think they can do these things with their dog are getting out there and trying things that they would probably never try before, because they're just having fun. And just this incredible bond is being built through the trick world. And the people, like I said, the people are amazing. I have never met a better group of people than the people that are out there and just winging it, and let's try this and see if it works. It's creativity at its best. I mean, I've been doing tricks many years with my dogs, and I go on YouTube or I go on Facebook and I see this new trick and it inspires me, and I got to do that. I got to figure out how to do that. And that's what keeps the trick world growing. So that's what's going to be really cool.
I can't thank you enough, Kim. I deal with some severe anxiety, and before I even went in for the performance, I was sitting upstairs in the glass windows you could see through, and I was literally just waiting, and I was just like trying not to have the biggest panic attack of my life, but I was kind of failing. And I think Beasley seriously looked at me and just tuned into me. He knew something was up. He didn't know what it was, but he was like on top of me. And we worked the routine. And if you're going to work a routine, don't overwhelm yourself and your dog. We did it in like small digestible pieces. And then we just slowly started to tie it together towards the end, instead of like every day we're going to run through the whole thing. I mean, it's just too much. Yeah. But when we went in there, he was actually anticipating things before he was even doing it. If you watch the final performance, he actually gets the tissue before I can cue it. So you kind of have to also kind of learn, how can I roll with it when things go wrong? In the champion level at Tridex, when I got the champion level, which then allowed me to be considered as one of the finalists there, I completely spaced out on my entire dance routine. I completely forgot. So we just had to improv the rest of the way. And so I highly suggest, if you are planning on doing some sort of live performance, to calm your nerves and to get yourself used to it, do some practice runs in new places, maybe even like a local school, because kids love this kind of stuff. and get your feet a little wet before you choose to do it, maybe in a competitive environment. Get you kind of used to, okay, the audio didn't work, or I totally forgot that trick. You know, how do you operate so it still looks very fluid and it looks like, and because honestly, if you make a mistake, you in your head are going, oh my God, I just totally screwed up. But the audience doesn't probably realize that. So what can you do to kind of go past that? And if you do suffer from anxiety, there's nothing better than just getting out there so you mentally know you can do it. And I think if you suffer from anxiety, know you can get it done, it becomes that much more achievable.
Right.
But thank you. I did. I completely bawled afterwards like a baby. So
I really want to get back on that note too. Like, that is the coolest thing about like these routines, is that you can actually touch people's hearts with these routines and really, share a powerful message, your message and your relationship with your dog. And I think that's just such a cool thing to be able to do. Like, you can just really, not only can Trick Dog kind of just only be between you and your dog, it can actually impact so many more people's lives and their relationship with your dogs. You can inspire people to do more with their dog, hence the thing, and just to have fun. Yeah. Real quickly, I think we had some really fun signature moves. I want to challenge everybody in the comment section to tell us your dog's signature move, because I think this is kind of fun. So Anne said that hers is the army crawl, that with her dog. And then Gwen, Gwen. So Captain Morgan is sit pretty. And
then, he does do mean sit pretty.
And this one's the best one. I think a lot of my dogs got this signature move down, and that is goalies is to eat. So I would challenge you guys to let us know maybe your dog's signature move, and maybe also let us know your dog's unsignature move.
What's funny enough is Beasley and I are getting more and more jobs where they want Beasley to sleep on command, and that was a hard one to train.
Right.
But actually can do like where he goes to sleep, but he's not really sleeping. Right. I would say that's probably one of the hardest things we've taught. But his most signature, I can get him to fake pee on anything. So I love that one. That's always great on set when you walk him up to the producer and you're like, go fake pee on him, and the guy's like, oh my God.
Okay, Chrissy, so I challenge you when I see you at Tridex to have Beasley pee on my leg for a picture.
Right. It's gonna happen.
Well, is that a challenge or a request? I don't know.
Don't do it for real.
This Tridex family is looking more and more interesting. Please let your dog pee on me. I just can't wait.
I know.
So
Loki behind me, I'm trying to think. He's got a couple. He's very good at precision tricks. Mm-hmm. So he likes holding things. Most of his videos that he really likes to do, like for his AKC performer title, we actually had game night and we played Monopoly. So he's very good at like putting the hotel. He was putting the hotels on the certain parts on the thing and handing me the money and rolling the dice and that kind of stuff. So he's really good with that. But I think the one that everybody asks for is his handstand.
Oh, yeah, that's very impressive.
So on my arm, and sometimes when I'm not asking, he just backs up to me and stands on me. So amazing. Bottoms up. That's his command. Bottoms up.
Bottoms up.
I think that's awesome. I think that's so cool that you've been able to like master that one, because and this is kind of the beauty of trick trainers and people getting involved is something that you're like, that's my signature move, man. He's got it. I mean, Beasley and I took like 9 months to get that. So I love that, some things that I might say, that's his thing. You're like, that might be more challenging for you. And I'm like, great. So how can I learn from you to teach that to my dog? Where something that you might find super easy, we're like racking our brains over here trying to figure it out.
Well, let me tell you, there's a story behind his handstand, and it was the unicorn for us. So, everybody has that unicorn, that one trick they want to achieve. And a few years ago, my dad passed away. And before he passed away, he couldn't walk. He was in a rehab center. And the only way he could get home was to be able to walk a short distance. So I made a deal with my dad, and I said, what trick do you want me to teach Loki? Loki used to visit him at the rehab center all the time. I was like, I will teach this dog any trick that you want to see him do if you can get up and walk this distance. And so that was the deal. And he said handstand. And this dog was really scared. And this was and not good with balance things in the beginning. And so this was a huge unicorn for him. And we got it. It took us quite a while. And it was after my dad passed, unfortunately, that he mastered it. But now it's one of his favorites because we spent so much time and we were determined to, we're going to see this through. So now he loves doing it. I don't even ask him to do it half the time. So that was a huge benefit in two different ways for us.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. Like that we can have like such attachment to, these tricks in a way that is meaningful for us for everything. I know, like, when my dad passed away too, as you know, about a year ago, and I mean, I can't say more about my joy has been working and training with Enya and having so much fun. That video I did post for this kind of like promoting this thing with her.
I love that video.
Thank you so much. And that was just kind of sums up my relationship with Enya, because she was there for me, like, in the hard nights, she was there on my chest, laying there so I could go to sleep. So it was just kind of like the dogs are just amazing creatures. I don't know how we got blessed with them in our lives, but we did. And, and so it's awesome to have such a powerful connection with them through trick training and being able to perform and share that love and that connection with others. Before we wrap up or anything like that, if anybody has any last minute questions, go and comment those down below. But is there any last minute tips or anything you guys want to share with the trick dog or doing stunt dog work or Tridex or AKC trick dog or anything like that?
Just get out there and do it. I mean, try it. Don't say you can't. Then you stop before you even started. So just get out there and try it. If you have a trainer in your area, great. If you don't, like I said, go on our Spark teams. I'm great at answering like emails at 2 a.m. I'm sure some of you that are on here probably recognize that on this live feed, because I'll answer your trick questions and help you out as much as I can. But it's just a matter of trying, just trying. And once you teach a novice level of tricks, it's really cool to watch how they grow, because you'll see the intermediate tricks aren't as difficult as you go on. And then the advanced tricks, they're not as hard. You're teaching the dog learning. You're teaching them the learning process. And so the more advanced stuff that you think are so unattainable in the beginning, they become much, much easier to teach down the road. It's really cool to watch that. So just get out there and be creative and have some fun with your dog. Awesome.
Yeah. And then Chrissy, any last minute tips or things? Oh gosh, look at these.
Beasley's out. Good sleep, Beasley.
He's doing a trick right now. Is he really out?
Kim says some awesome points, and she's right on all of them. And getting involved, like finding that local training facility. If you really are just like, well, I love to get started, but I just don't know the first thing. Get involved in a local training facility with the positive reinforcement or balanced training concepts. They could probably tell you right off the bat how they train, and that can really help you. Gwen says join a Spark team. She's so right. These are just really great. Social media is huge. So if you're doing the social media already, just join the group and you can talk to them and just be like, hey, I'm a total newbie. And no one's going to look down upon you for that. They're actually going to be very empowered to help you through it. That's why we are part of Spark teams. We don't tolerate people bullying each other, which is my major segue. It sounds so silly when I say it, but I don't. If I never make a lot of money in my life, that's fine. My one goal is to make a change. And the biggest thing for me is if you ever deal with someone who's bullying you, who literally brings you to tears, gives you anxiety, causes you to be depressed, that's not something you need in your life. And I always say to focus with your dog who loves you. All right, I know he's really curling up now. Focus with your dog who loves you unconditionally. And find friends who are also in the same boat as you, who love their dog unconditionally, and you'll meet some of the best people of your life. and get involved together, but also don't let those negative vibes ever, ever, ever get in your way. They might stop you in your tracks. You might lose your breath. There might be a couple days where you have to recover, but get back on your feet and keep moving forward. I've learned so much this year, good and bad, but I think it's made me such a stronger person. So like Kim said, just get out there and do it. And also feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, friend me, message me. I might not be able to get back as soon as I'd love to some days, but I'll always do my best to answer your questions and be there as a support for you. So, and I can't thank you enough, Trevor.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. And on that note, like, guys, I think right now that deserves a awesome fireworks show. So if you guys want to join the fireworks show right now, all you gotta do is just hit that heart and like button as much as you can right now. Show those fireworks right now. We got 17 reactions like that. We got 17 hearts. So guys, just go ahead and I think show us your love for your dog by joining the fireworks show right now by clicking that like or heart button right now as many times as possible as you guys can. I do have a couple questions going out. One is Julia said, how many years have you been training dogs? That's what I'm guessing this question is asking. Kim, how many years have you started?
Oh gosh, it's got to be in the 20 somethings.
Right. 20 somethings. I say that too. I did start when I was 6 years. I started when I was 6 years old, helping people train their dogs and helping teaching classes with my mom, Diana. And then I also started teaching my own classes at 16, and I'm 30 now, so I don't mind sharing my age in that sense. But I'm a guy, so I don't mind my age. Like that. So, you guys are young, so you guys shouldn't have to worry about your age too. So
I'm a little on the lesser side, unprofessionally with my family dog since I was a little girl, but actually trained horses competitively and professionally before I ever worked with dogs. I would say I probably worked with dogs.
That's why we get along, because that's where I started. When I was young, I started training horses.
Yeah, you can bring a lot of that together. They overlap a lot with positive reinforcement and pressure and all sorts of different things that you can work with your dog. So I'd say unprofessionally for a long time with horses and animals in general since I was young. But I'd say professionally through BFF Pet Services probably since 2014. So it's been kind of like I have my degree with equine training, but I think it's been able to cross over just beautifully into dog training.
Awesome. And then I have another question here. What do you suggest if there isn't anyone in your area? Where can you find and train and learn from? We kind of mentioned this a little bit, that Sam, you have a wonderful opportunity and resource to join. Kim, what place? What spark?
So go on Facebook.com. You can join Rockin' Dog Spark Team. Just put that in your search and it'll pop up. And you can join our Spark team. You guys can also go on my YouTube page if you want. Just go youtube.com Rockin' Dogs, and there's over, I think, 130, 150 videos of different tricks. So you can jump on in, jump on in and try.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of helpful instructional stuff. You have books and stuff like that too to help people out with their dogs, especially Hyper Dogs 101. Kim, when people need to find more information about you other than the YouTube channel, where should they be heading off to?
So you can go to our website, which is rockindogs.com, and that's spelled a little funky. So it's Rockin' Dogs with Attitude, ROCKINDAWGS.com. Awesome. And you can find information about us. I hope if you're anybody that's local to us that you'll come down to our facility because we have a ton of fun in our trick classes.
Where's your facility at?
We're in Rockledge, Florida. So we're on the East Coast near the Space Center.
Okay. And that's Rockledge, like Rock Ledge and in Florida?
It's ROCKLEDGE. Yep,
awesome.
That's it. You got
awesome. Rockledge, Florida. And then Chrissy, you have a facility too. Where's your facility located?
You can go to mybffpetservices.com, and we have two locations, Brandywine, Maryland, and Charlotte Hall, Maryland. And on top of that, feel free to check out Good Beasley and BFF Pet Services on Facebook and Instagram and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
We've got really, really exciting. We have almost a full year of events next year that we're going to be going to, and we're going to be doing live workshops and demos. So please stay tuned on those outlets for BFF Pet Services and Good Beasley, because there will be an opportunity for you to come, not only do a ton of shopping, which is like prime time, why I love to go to these events, but you can also come in, be hands-on, and jump right into some of our workshops and meet us and meet Beasley and Felix and all that good stuff.
Awesome. And we're covering all the grounds when it comes to America right now. I didn't realize like how far spread out we are between Maryland, Florida, and
notice
Texas.
we're all wearing blue.
Oh my God. Well, on Wednesdays I wear pink. I don't know much. But Thursdays I wear blue. So that's awesome. Blue is my favorite color. So it's been awesome to have you guys on here. Thanks for the fireworks show, everybody. We got up to 34 reactions. And if you guys could please go ahead and share this broadcast with as many friends and family. As you guys know, this information is valuable to everybody, no matter what age or how athletic your dog is. Every dog out there can do tricks and can have a good old time. Like you saw the Christmas commercial with the Good Beasley. And that pug, he is a crotchety old man, and he's on TV, so your dog can make it too. So,
I know, actually, he's cooler than we are. He's filming with US today.
What's that?
He's filming with US today. He's off in Philly.
Oh wow, really? That's awesome. Yeah. That's so fun.
He's got a bigger schedule than I do.
And you guys, if you didn't know already too, this is something else that's awesome about Chrissy and what she's doing is she actually has a, she's starting up, I don't know what you would call it right now, but where you can actually, if you're interested in maybe getting into the talent industry with your dog, she's actually has a service for that. And that is that Facebook group. Is that correct? Or no, you have a different Facebook group.
It's it's facebook.com/BFF talent group. It's the Bonafide talent group. First and foremost, I always like to say we are not an agency. So what happens is agencies and people who are seeking dogs will contact us, look at our roster of dogs, and then we'll work through an agency to do work on set. We work with a fantastic amount of agencies around the country, so we're not limited to our area. But what we're doing is we provide high quality images of your dog. So if you are interested, and we do get all these casting calls in, I can hand that right over to a client and say, we've got that dog for you. And it might get you guys a job on set, which is another great outlet for your obedience and trick training and exposure as well.
Awesome. And then everybody, I have to also give Chrissy a great shout out there. Go check out Kim Mays' awesome Hyper Dogs 101 book that she just released. She also you have another book too. What's the other book you have, Kim?
The other book is Getting Braver. It's tricks and games for your fearful dogs. So, and you can note, let me see if I've got one next to me. Yes.
Of course you are. There you go. Good. Awesome.
Yay, look at how cute he is.
Guys, you guys have been fantastic. This has been so much fun. We got to do this again soon. And you guys are incredible dog trainers, incredible dog moms, and you guys do so much great stuff for the dog training world in general, not just the trick dog world. So thank you so much for all you do, and thank you for being on the show today. And so if anybody has any questions, feel free to pop those down below. Even if you're watching on replay, we'll still be there to answer them for you guys. We appreciate everything. We appreciate this wonderful community here, and thank you for all you guys have done. So thanks so much, Kim. Thanks so much, Chrissy. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, Trevor. Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah, happy holidays, everybody. All right. Bye, Beasley. Bye, Beasley. All right.
Check out.
Bye, everybody.